Hello, fellow shoppies and all the ships at sea. I'm Tom Cunningham,
I'm Elma Barrera.
and this is Steel Shopping Steel. Well, everybody, my goodness. In the description, we kind of had a breakdown of how things have gone since Davos. The one thing I left out was that they actually had to turn the plane around. When we were doing pre-show, Joy saying "Turn around," and the Air Force One literally had to turn around
Black
while
Girl
we were
Magic.
on route to Davos. It was so timely. But oh my goodness, I yay. There was so much that went on and flipped so quickly. So, like we said, he was up in his feelings. He literally sent a text, because who heard of diplomacy? A text to the prime minister or the premier of Norway saying, since y'all ain't give me the prize, I don't have to worry about peace no more. So I'm going to take Greenland from Denmark.
Yes. Right. Since I stopped 8+ wars, do what now?
None of which are stopped. So
None of which are stopped.
there's that. But also, Norway and Denmark
This
are
is
whole
accurate.
other different countries.
Just a hot mess of a shit clown. Yes, that is accurate.
Yes. Maybe clown shit.
Clown shit. Mm-hmm.
We don't usually say, unless you're talking about Pennywise, I guess. But so he tells Norway. Norway's like, what? And then he tells everybody he's gonna take Greenland. This Greenland representative gets on TV and says, we don't care about money and Kardashian lips and fake boobs like Americans. Like, we're good over here. And oh, by the way, as you can see, we are people of color, and we see the way that you treat the people of color in your own country, even the native people whose land you stole, and you don't treat them well. So why would we think you would treat us well?
Right.
We're good over here. We would, and you want to give us $100,000 a piece? We wouldn't trade that for free education and free healthcare.
Exactly.
Over here, you could get paid to go to school. Like,
right. But I mean, that's their mentality: is money fixes everything. And unfortunately, in the United States, it fixes a whole lot of shit.
It does. But I did not know this. In Greenland, you can own the house you build your land on, but you don't own the land.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Greenland, there's a principle that nobody owns the land. The land is for everything, everybody. Mm-hmm. But you can own the house.
And that is a very common idea or concept for a lot of indigenous peoples, which is why that one conquering island was able to go around and say, this is mine now, because they're like, you can't own land. Well, we own it now. Matter of fact, get off my land, get off my yard is a European thing.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And to Chan's point, it is kind of crazy, right? Because I can remember going through the recount of Bush v. Gore. Yes. Experiencing that in real time. And then realizing 2 months too late that he actually did win Florida, and then consequently that it should have been Bush. It should have been Gore who was president, and then 9/11 happened and nobody remembered anything. But when the rumors about Kamala Harris maybe actually winning, because maybe Elon Musk actually did do something, and how can you throw that out? How is that impossible, given the other things we previously thought would be impossible in this administration?
And also given the hints and clues that he said about it. He's like, we've got something special planned for election night. You're not going to have to worry about it. You vote here, you never have to vote again. That was premeditation, as a matter of fact. The update that went out to all those machines just like days or weeks before the election, you can't discount all of that and say, oh, it's just weird coincidence. Oh, that was just a scheduled update. Nothing. No. And let's not also forget that we all watched Scandal back in the day.
Absolutely. And The man literally said, maybe we don't have the midterms.
Yeah.
Caroline Levitt got it. I mean, I don't know if it's pregnancy jitters or she's just lying so well, talking about, were you in the room, Phil? I was in the room. It was a joke, Phil. It's like, girl, you be lying all the time. The man literally swapped Iceland for Greenland 3 times in 30 seconds. And you said, if you look at the transcript of his comments, it says a piece of ice, which it is.
It's not.
Girl, it's literally on video. Nobody was and tried to tell him he was the only one who was confused about that. Man, Skip was right on.
It's beyond gaslighting. It is just straight up lying.
Just lying.
It's not even.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not even like slick.
No.
It's what was it? Eddie Murphy. I saw you. No, you didn't.
Right. Maybe I didn't. Just they didn't even try to Jedi mind trick us anymore. They're just like, no, we're saying this, and you're gonna believe us because Trump. And that's just how they go. I put it like this. Before I had a sister, it was just me and my brother. If something was broken in the house, it was me or my brother. But Trump is like the stupid child who knocks a lamp over and walks out of the room and forgets that the lamp is broken. So when mom comes in and says, who broke my lamp? I don't know. It's like,
do you remember that video? It went a little viral, and there was a little kid and he had sprinkles all over his mouth. And the mother was like, did you eat the cake? Did you eat the sprinkles? No. Are you sure you didn't eat? I didn't eat the sprinkles. Not at all. You didn't have any. No, I didn't have any. You have sprinkles on your mouth. Do I? So you didn't eat the sprinkles? No. That's what we have. That's what we have right now.
He is Rick James in the Dave Chappelle sketch.
Now, what I look like trying to take over. Trying to take over
feet on the couch,
right?
Just to be doing things. Yeah, I put my feet on the couch.
And this whole discussion actually brings us to actually, we'll start here. It brings us to one of our segments.
Well, let's. Okay, so now that we have our Sharpie audience, we wanted to kick off the show with a couple of quick things, just because we got a lot of Trump. Is a lot of Trump as usual. So we wanted to kick off with just a couple of quick things. So first up, we've got Ted Cruz, Jack Smith, and no Jan 6 payout. So what does that mean? We learned that Ted Cruz got into a bit of trouble a few years back because it got cold, and Texas was in a cold crisis and a crisis of supply.
Energy, because Texas isn't on the United States electricity grid.
Yeah, they got their own private Idaho. Right. So here, wouldn't you know it? Here's Ted Cruz on a plane. At least he's in coach. Flying to Laguna Beach, California. Now, his office tried to say, well, this was a pre-planned work trip. In
what business do you have?
Ain't nothing in Laguna. I'm just telling you right now, I live in Southern California.
Right.
Ain't no businesses in Laguna except like Panera, some restaurants.
Ain't no tall buildings in Laguna.
Golf courses, condos by the water. That's all. Wasn't no work. Oh, and he's gonna be back before the storm really hits. Right. Yeah, sure.
Tell me another one. Yeah.
Exactly. Next up on the quick hits, Jack Smith back to testify, and baby, he was dropping them truth bombs. What was your takeaway on Jack's testimony in front of them people?
My thought was, what are you going to do about this? How are you going to spin this? It seems like he is boxing y'all in. Like there's no way to be like, that's not what happened.
Right.
This is receipts on receipts on receipts on recordings on testimony on receipts. Like, how do you climb out of this? I spent when I was looking at it, I was I'm pop culture referencing all day today. I remember myself making the face that Kenan Thompson makes on that GIF, like.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wait, I love this. The country has the Waffle House Index. Texas has the Ted Cruz Index.
Wow.
Meaning, if Waffle House closes, you're in a whole lot of trouble.
Right.
And if Ted Cruz leaves the state, Texas is in a whole lot of trouble. Mm-hmm.
Texas, you in danger, girl.
You in danger, girl. Yeah. And as Michael's point, they're just denying reality. 1984, you did not see what your eyes saw.
Correct.
Do not believe your own vision.
Yep. That's about the size of it.
The question is, how much fiction turned reality do we need to read, watch, hear, or see to start to believe that maybe we're on the Death Star? You know,
it is absolutely nuts what we're doing, and the fact that so few people appear to be willing to concede what is obvious to almost the entire damn planet. There's a real problem.
There's a real problem. And I remember seeing this quote, and it said, sadly, it was something about, the country and everything. It said 1/3 of the country realizes that another third wants to kill them, and the last third is going to sit by and watch.
Yep.
And that's where we are. Because even with the 92% and 54% of white women, all other kind of stuff, that's still only half of the voting population that actually voted.
Next up, your favorite former first family is in a little bit of trouble. They have been asked to testify about the Epstein stuff. Now, here's how I feel. I wouldn't put a lot of stuff past Bill Clinton. And he's in enough pictures that I could understand why he might be questioned. And I can also understand the political efficacy of him being questioned. Because it takes away a little bit of the, Clinton doesn't want to be, he's a liberal,
right.
Did it.
It also sets precedent that a president or former president can be questioned about illegal activity.
There you go. And so all of that. Now, that being said, also Ghislaine Maxwell, also Pam Bondi, also Donald Trump. So let's not get it twisted. And also do it open.
Yeah.
The Clintons are perfectly capable of handling themselves. And so what they don't want is James Comer behind closed doors doing what James Comer did when he thought he had the Biden laptop story and all that other stuff. He thought he had it all together, and then come to find out, but no. And the guy was a paid Russian asset. And so you had to shut all that down because you couldn't impeach Biden because none of it was real. That's what they don't want. And supposedly they may be playing third dimensional chess because they're like, we'll do it. Just release the Epstein files so that we can have everything on the record and we can actually get this stuff sorted. And Hakeem Jeffries has said that the Clintons are acting in good faith. The House also did pass a funding bill which gives $10 billion to ICE. Thank you, 7 or 9.
Right. Meanwhile, you got teachers out here buying their own school supplies. And working second jobs just so they can keep teaching. But no, we got $10 billion for ICE.
We got $10 billion for ICE, who's shooting citizens in the face. So on the flip side of the House voting shenanigans is this little gem, which is the House Republicans say, senators, no, we're not giving you $1 million each because your phone records, not phone recordings, not spying, your phone records were sought. You're not getting $1 million. Sorry, Lindsay, you don't get it.
They tried it.
You really, really tried it, and you really, really failed. So those were our quick hits. Look, that only took us 7 minutes. We got through 4 different topics. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's amazing for us. That's right, Mike. The regime is 30 days out of 32 days. And so Bondi is in contempt.
Yes, she should go to jail.
She should go to jail. Oh, last little thing that has happened since last week. Lindsay Halligan is donezo. She's finally done because basically a judge was like, I'm fixing to take your license. You gonna step back or what? Use your license to practice law for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. You haven't been able to do anything.
And that's the line of loyalty. Like, are you willing to give up your future for this charlatan con of a man
who doesn't even remember you, girl?
Right. And will never acknowledge or pay you because you have a wound. He don't like that.
And you can't even do your insurance adjusting practice anymore because, like, if you've been on TV, like, it's the dumbest lawyer in the country.
Right.
It's really bad. It's like 6 of them who were put in as interim attorneys after the original interim attorney had passed their 120 days. Alina Habba, looking at you, girl. What'd you get out of this, Alina?
Now, they probably all will land somewhere on either Fox News or some White House position, you know, head couch cleaner or whatever. But they'll be Yo, my girl, she don't know me, so she's not really my girl, but I love her to death. Booker Squared broke it down.
Oh,
she was like, yo.
With her auburn locks.
She was so good with that.
I mean, come on, Booker Square.
Exactly. Shout out, you know. But she broke it down. She's like, Usha, did you get pregnant right after the whole Erica Kirk thing? Like, he came home and smashed immediately. And then she's like, ma'am, do you understand that you are a woman of color in the United States with a husband that doesn't seem to pay attention to you, you know? And you got pregnant. What did she call it? Did you have a Band-Aid baby?
Yeah, Band-Aid baby.
Together. Like, wow. But I commented on it. I was like, you know what? Women of color do have a 3 to 4 times more likely chance of dying in childbirth, especially considering her age. And I was like, I wonder if he's banking on that, because if something happens, God forbid, I don't like her. And, you know, I don't care what happens to her financially or socially, but I don't wish the woman any medical illness. But if something like that were to happen, then he gets the sympathy, he gets the kids, and he gets a pathway to Erica.
I'm gonna take it one further. He ain't gonna get them kids. Her mama gonna get them kids.
Her mama gonna get them kids because he didn't want to raise them kids no way. Nope. Didn't he say that was the whole purpose of her mother was child caring? So do that.
Now, the other content creator who weighed in on the Usha Vance story was this blonde woman, and she was just crying, stacking couch cushions on top of herself so that when he came home and smashed the couch, she would get pregnant.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
Literally putting couch cushions on top of herself, and she's weeping. She's like, I don't believe I have to do this. Mm-hmm. So, oh my gosh, Chan. Not the marriage anchor. And I don't even know why she wants that, though. I really don't.
Well, what was she going to do? Use birth control?
No. I'm just saying, I don't know why she would want an anchor baby. I would think that she would be happy to be loose of him.
Why would you think that?
Because of the way he has treated her. We all know that Melania doesn't care about Donald.
Right.
But I think up until he became vice president,
she thought he loved her.
She thought he was a real partner. Mm-hmm. And once he got into office, and once he sat there at Turning Point USA and told 10,000 of his closest friends that he wishes his wife a practicing Hindu, mm-hmm. I guess, practicing
for a decade, yeah.
Correct. That she wishes she would become Catholic. That's some ill stuff to say.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you watched your husband go from saying that Trump was like Hitler.
Yep.
And you watched that descent into chaos and madness, and you rode with him. Also, you
wrote
could
it.
be the second. Is it the second lady?
She's the second lady now.
Yeah, so you can be the second lady. You got your 13 pieces of silver. So I don't know what you're mad about. If he would betray his own morals, what made you think he wouldn't betray you?
Well, and the other thing is, to be clear, to be absolutely crystal clear, I don't think she nor he were up in the MAGA sphere in a large enough scale for her to realize what these racist MAGAs feel about her, because nobody knew who she was. I didn't know who J.D. Vance's wife was before he became a candidate for the vice presidency. I had no idea.
I'm calling that out. No, because remember how they treated Nikki Haley?
No, absolutely. But Nikki Haley doesn't look as Indian as Usha.
Exactly. She doesn't even look as Indian as Usha.
And she was Nikki Haley. That's a white girl name.
Right.
Usha?
But they still wasn't trying to see her. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But they weren't talking, the white supremacists weren't talking trash about her in the same way, because her skin is obviously brown and the kids are obviously brown. And they got dark hair and brown skin.
I'm going to say some terrible things. For me, because I've dealt with several Indian individuals that subscribe to colorism ideas.
Oh, for sure.
Right. And what I mean by all of this is, but the colorism that they have doesn't necessarily apply to them. You know how you and I both think we darker than we really are?
Right.
We'd be like, I'm brown. They'd be like, you are off beige at best, Joy. You know, and then you see a picture, you're like, I'm really beige. I'm really just pale over here. It's the reverse for several people that I know that are Indian that have, you know, we'll call it light brown skin to brown skin. They think they're lighter than they really are. Or they believe that it's that the skin tone has nothing to do with it because they are so accomplished in XYZ. But they also have a tendency to believe that they are better than the American version of untouchable, which is Black Americans. And so I've been shat on by several Indians. And now I'm not holding an entire demographic responsible for it. I'm just saying it's very possible that she didn't look at how they treated Michelle Obama and thought she was better than that.
Now that is absolutely true. And she is married to a white man. Michelle is married to a Black man.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't as much hate from the right wing because it was two Black people together with Black children.
Right.
Now, J.D. Vance is a race traitor who married a brown person. And has brown children and will never have white children unless he marries Erica Kirk. If Erica Kirk even wants more children, who knows? She got 2 already. And they're both blonde and blue eyes. And he's got, you know, she's blonde. But
you know what? That could be the future. It'll be because for the Aryan race to be ideally blonde hair and blue eyes, Hitler sure enough was a brunette with brown eyes.
Listen.
Right? And we could have the same thing again, especially if Trump ends up, you know, going to the upper room. And now you got brown hair, J.D. Vance, and his adopted toe-headed blonde children, right, with blue eyes from Erica Kirk in his second marriage when he finally found a good Christian woman. There's a narrative there that I think they're probably going to try to buy into.
Absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. That's the blueprint. He will not carry Trump's base with Usha Vance.
Absolutely not.
He might not carry Trump's base even with Erica Kirk because Erica Kirk is being branded as this opportunistic Jezebel,
right?
Who,
who didn't wait for her husband to be cold in the ground before she was humping around. Yeah,
exactly. With him.
So
there's some people. He's not Donnie, and so I don't even want to get into that kettle of fish because it just it's not going to work out well for him. It may work out nominally better for the country if he ends up taking the office, because at least we may be able to step back from some of this. I do not believe that Peter Thiel, who is J.D. Vance's puppet master, is as interested in destroying NATO as Trump's frontal temporal lobe dementia is pushing us. He's a cross between Greg Stilson and Count Olaf and Homer Simpson's father, and it's a bunch of craziness going on, which does lead us, I think, into our big segment, which we are calling Brownland, after the name of the show. And, we work each and every week to try to make something that is going to be appealing to you. And so I hope you like the effort that I took in getting the silhouette of Greenland right on the poop stain. And also, I did not appreciate this until this week, how much Greenland's flag looks like a Pokeball. So, Pokeball, you are missing out. You need to go to Greenland and do a Poke universe in Greenland just for giggles. So, as we said at the top of the show, he did a lot. Got to Davos finally, and it wasn't because it wasn't a poop issue. It was a mechanical issue. He gets to Davos, nobody's there.
Wait. Peter Thiel, who Candace Owens recently accused of having an affair with Jimmy Dore. Okay.
Yeah. That's right. For a party of Christian values, they sure don't mind having a paymaster, billionaire,
adultery, pedophilia, rape, pederasty. I think it was yeah, all of that. It's a whole lot of funk nasty over there for them to be so,
and that's before Trump's diapers. So he gets to Davos. He stumbles on the red carpet. He doesn't have any friends. Of course, Secret Service is there, but no world leaders are there to greet him. Nobody's waiting for him expectantly to arrive in Switzerland. None of it.
He has no friends.
He has no friends. And he gets up and he makes this meandering speech. And what people noticed during the speech is the hand is back. And here's a close-up. This is the left hand. Before it was the right hand. People who felt he was getting intravenous drugs, perhaps Alzheimer's or whatever drugs, in the right hand believe that maybe those veins got blown out.
Yeah, I remember that was a thought. Yeah.
He needed to go to the other hand. I can tell you, as a person who was hospitalized for 2 weeks and had IVs 24/7, if they lose a vein on the other hand, then they've got to, switch it. And so I know from experience that can be the case. My hand never bruised up like that, but it could very much be the case. And I'm going to put this back up because Joy spent 15 seconds creating a really good banner. So I'm going to allow her to put it on there.
I got to give you the voice to go with it. Brother, what's that, brother?
Brother, And to answer your question, I know some people think it's a bruise. Actually, I just got a tattoo of Greenland on my hand because I love the Greenlandians so much. And I wanted to make sure I showed a sense of solidarity. You can see also that I'm wearing my very expensive cufflinks. They're the best cufflinks in the world. You've never seen cufflinks like this before.
Right, from Sam's Club.
Right after he literally said, I'm going into Greenland, the market dipped, and some estimates are that it dropped $1 trillion in value. And so we said, I've worked out a deal. There is no deal, but I've worked it out. It's an infinite deal, but it isn't made. We've got concepts of a plan, but there are no plans. There are even no concepts. But it's a win. It's the biggest win our country has ever. My hands are way too big. It's a win. It's a big win.
The killer is the deal was what we have now.
And right after, the Dane was like, yeah, but no, we didn't talk about that.
No.
We haven't talked about a deal. And by the way, there certainly isn't a deal that gives America any sovereign land, more than what it has on the base they have there or whatever.
But the thing is, America ceded or gave up trying to annex Greenland in exchange for the Caribbean like 100 years ago or something. So
yeah, and by the way, one of those the Virgin Islands used to be Danish.
yeah, we traded
Also,
that out.
also one of those islands in that purchase, Epstein's Island.
Yes.
Little
Yes,
St.
it was.
James Island. That's why I want the island, because my good friend, that person.
I don't
Why
even
are we even
know.
talking about him? I don't know why. We got the island from the Danish, from the Denmarkians,
The
and
Denmarkians.
just
You
like
sound
Marky
like
Mark
that
and the
Marky.
Funky Bunch, I love them. They were a great band. Most talented rapper ever. You've never seen a rapper like him. And he was Denmarkian. That's why his name was Denmarcus. Yeah, it's yes. That's Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
That's a throwback from Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
Pray I don't alter it any further.
Good voice.
Thank you. Yes,
kidney failure would be the least of his worries at this moment.
Well, I don't know. With all the McDonald's he eats, hell.
I mean, no, I feel like the devil be pinching him in his sleep. You awake? Baby, you up? Mm-hmm.
You want to take the boat, Donnie? Oh, down here we've got Big Macs and filet of fish. Can you smell it, Donnie? Can you smell the fries? Oh, yes. We all go down here, Donnie.
No, not Pennywise.
No.
Yeah.
Burger Wise, the clown. Burger Wise, the mentally deficient clown. So that's the big story. Mm-hmm. More and more people are actually talking about his mental decline. Joy and I have had a favorite guy, Epistemic Circle, and he posts almost every day about the latest things. And then he's stitched with a Black woman who was she's a clinician who was basically saying the same thing. Today, I saw a third content creator outside of Midas Touch, who's always talking about it, and Keith Edwards and all of those guys. But these are actual just regular content creators that don't have huge platforms who are now talking about it. Everybody is talking about it now.
Everybody outside of the Fox MAGA news cycle is talking about the fact that the president of the United States is unhinged and declining in real time.
And there's actually a clinical definition for the behavior that he's exhibiting right now. It's called disinhibition.
Now, let me read this for you.
You read it, Joy. Take it.
Okay. One of the earliest and most underreported warning signs of certain forms of dementia is not memory loss. It is disinhibition, a deterioration of impulse control, judgment, and social restraint that often manifests as reckless behavior, inappropriate speech, diminished concern for consequences. By the time forgetfulness becomes obvious, the disease process is often well underway. Think about what we have seen this president do in the last 7 months, right? The crazy Truth Social posts, the threatening of everybody. I'm mad that I didn't win a Nobel Prize. The talking out the side of his neck and both of his hands. The wandering over to the window to look at construction that's not even happening at the moment, right? This is great. I love everything that's happening. Just the crazy talk. That's
where the ballroom's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's dirt now.
So
they're building my bunker. I didn't say bunker. They're not building a bunker. I'm definitely not going to stay in the bunker after January 21st of 2029. Definitely not going to stay in the bunker because it's not going to be a bunker. It's not a bunker at all.
I could totally see him locking himself in there and saying, I'm president until I leave or something stupid like that.
The funny part is when, just like in Ocean's 11, or they're going to put him in a van to take him to the bunker. And then they're going to take him to a room, and it's not going to be in the White House. And they're going to put him in with a loop of Fox News telling him that he's president while Gavin Newsom is sworn in.
Yeah.
And he'll just stay in there like Fallout. He'll just be in a shelter thinking he's president, praying with boop, 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 boop. I just bombed Ukraine. I just bombed Joe Biden's house. I just did it. I just had to press my little button. See, the button's right there, and I pressed it. And now, boom, the house is no more.
Wait. They gave me a button. Whenever I press it, I can kill whoever, I can bomb whoever I want. And then it tells me how easy it was. Listen, boom, that was easy. And He will not know
That
the
was
difference.
easy.
He will not know the difference. He will not know it's a Staples button.
I mean,
shout out to Staples.
literally,
I hope you give it to him.
They say it's a nuclear football, but footballs are too big for my tiny hands. I have the nuclear ping pong ball.
Right.
It's much easier. There's only one little thing on it. All I have to do is press this.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Stilson is my hero. Okay, so finally, some mainstream media people are beginning to pick up the breadcrumbs. They're interviewing people. There was a congressperson who was interviewed at Davos, and he literally said on camera, yeah, he just said some crazy shit up there. Right?
And let's talk about that for a moment. You say some media people are beginning to, first of all, shout out to Joy Ann Reid and Don Lemon. Because they've been living their best life since they got put off network television. Yes. I'm loving it. I am loving this iteration of Don Lemon. Joy Reid is who she's always been, just a little bit bolder. But Don did a 180, right? Now, when you say some local people or some like network people are starting to talk about this, it always comes down to the money. If people stop believing that you're reporting the news and they turn to TikTok and Threads and Instagram and even X for their news or YouTube, channels like us, they're finding out from us instead of from CNN. CNN is like, I guess we got to talk about this so we don't lose our sponsorship, right? And that's where it is. It has gotten so bad that they would be remiss and blatantly biased not to talk about it. That's where they are.
And listen, it's not only news persons. Senator Markey has literally called for his removal of office under the 25th Amendment. It might be less politically fractious than impeachment. Impeachment is going to happen.
Yeah.
January 2027, as soon as the Democrats take over the House. And they may gain 20, 30 seats. As soon as they do it, he will be impeached. And the only way he wouldn't be impeached is if they say, look, Vance, we know you want to be president. The easiest way for you to be president, because you're not going to be elected, is for you to be president for these remaining 2 years. So you need to rally the forces of the cabinet. Everybody knows he's coming undone. You've had a whole nother year through this election cycle to see that he's batshit. You need to go on ahead and help us push the button.
Right. Sign off on this 25th. Yep.
Sign off on the 25th. And the flip is that there's an argument to be made that it may improve the party's chances in the fall if they act, quote unquote, responsibly to take this dangerous person out of office. Just maybe. I'm not saying it's likely because his calcified, ignorant base loves him regardless. They don't listen to logic. They don't listen to reason. And if you go against him, it could redound against you. But
as long as he's alive, they will want him in office. And when he dies, they will try to weaken that Bernie's him. I promise you.
They'll be looking for vampire blood. They're going to bring the dude from Sinners to sing the Rocky Road to Dublin his ass and try to get him to bounce around the Rocky Road of Dublin. Oh, it's a rocky road. You've never seen a road so rocky. The rockiest road you've ever seen, and it's going to Dublin. I love Dublin. It's so close to Greenland.
Chan, you have a point, but that is short-lived. They can raid the cabinet. They've already raided the cabinets, or the cupboards, if you will. But when you start alienating NATO, and you start alienating, all of our allies. And it's not just because did y'all hear about the sting that France did where they sent out some false information to see if he'll get back to Putin, and it didn't even take 24 hours? Yeah.
Correct.
So it's proof that we can't be trusted. We are isolated, even if we don't recognize that we're already isolated. Everybody is coming out bolder and bolder saying basically F the United States. And so that is not good for business.
Nope.
Nobody cares about your tariffs if they go around us to trade. I was talking to this guy earlier, and he does business in Canada, but he gets his materials from Mexico, right?
Right.
And you know what he does to avoid the tariffs on the materials from Mexico? He has his Mexican suppliers drop ship that shit straight into Canada and skip the United States altogether. It costs him like an extra 7 or 8% in like shipping costs, but that beats the 25% tariff.
And here's the thing. Scott Bessent is already pushing against some of his policies. He
Mm-hmm.
does not like this whole try to get Fed Chairman Powell out. He's not liking that.
Right.
And yes,
It's
there are people.
disruptive to the economy, and that's where they draw the line.
That's the thing. He's a billionaire. He doesn't like it. And none of the other billionaires like that market unstable and instability. And I said it before, it's been like probably a month and a half ago. The people that he put in these cabinet positions either care so little for the efficacy of government that they figure they can just do whatever they want and everything's going to be fine, or they feel beholden to him. But here's the thing. J.D. Vance is not likely to fire too many people. Pam Bondi's probably got to go because she's such an embarrassment and she's useless.
They're going to throw her under the bus. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the bus tracks. She already has Prada bus tracks on her outfit. It's a new line coming from that house this year. Bus tracks. That's done. So, and cash gone. So you probably see a couple of people who don't really count. Cash is not a cabinet level position anyway. So there will be some people who will be eliminated. I would say maybe even Susie Wiles, because
I think
you might want somebody like Peter Thiel right there.
I think Hegseth might be up for grabs, and I definitely think they're going to get rid of RFK.
So the question is, can you get enough cabinet people to play ball? Because one way or another, pretenders, one way or another, they're going to find you. They're going to get you one way. Maybe next year, they're going to get you. So you got to figure out, do you want a graceful exit or do you want gasoline draws on fire exit? It's one or the two.
But it's an exit either way.
It's an exit either way. And so the gravy train is done. I happen to believe that none of the Trump officials are popular enough. None of the Trump cabinet members are popular enough to keep. So Peter Thiel probably has a handpicked group of technocrats who actually might be able to competently perform his shenanigans in a way that is a lot more capable than the clowns he has in the office now. They may. I'm not sure, Mike. I would like to believe that a sense of self-preservation, you can only stick on his coattails so long. He's leaning forward every moment. He's going to fall and break his face. And when he falls and breaks his face,
there'll be nothing left but that shitty diaper.
That's it. And you're going to have to pick him up, and you don't know what's going to leak on you.
This metaphor is getting grosser and grosser.
Probably.
Douglas MacArthur, probably. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very difficult to anticipate what could happen, but if we believe that it's 2 to 4 months in the land of the living, or 25th Amendment, or impeach, or whatever.
Now, I will say we've been hearing this 2 to 4 months thing for a couple of months. Are we in the golden hour or not?
Well, he started off at 4 to 6, then he went to 3 to 5. He started 2 to 4 months about a month ago.
Okay.
So he's still in his 2 to 4 month window. But those of you who were there have been a couple of Facebook threads talking about what song you gonna play when it happens, and everybody of course knows what the it is. And so you can drop that in the chat. I don't know what you all are thinking. I have my song.
What's your song?
Brand New Day from The Wiz.
That was my song.
The Diana Ross version.
Yes.
Did you know that Luther Vandross wrote that song?
I didn't know that at all.
Luther Vandross wrote that song and recorded a version of that song.
I was now years old when I learned that.
But his version, I mean, it's Luther, so obviously he can sing.
Right.
But it's not, Brand New Day is peppy and energetic.
When it's a celebration choir song.
It is. Everybody get it. And you got Michael Jackson, you got Nipsey Russell doing his thing, and the Lion is doing his thing. So with Luther, it's very Luthery. It's slower. It's more churchy. So it's not as exultant
A little more gospel-y.
It's a little more gospel. You can look it up. I encourage you. Just look up Brand New Day, Luther Vandross.
Well,
It's out there.
Since you picked Brand New Day, I think I'm going to pick, I want to say You About to Lose Your Job. Yeah.
Oh, but that would be too late.
No, that'll be for everybody that's left.
Oh, yeah. But there's that.
You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job. Because yes. I've never yearned so hard to read an obituary. Oh my God, Bob, that's the comment of the night.
When I beat the wizard. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes out the woodworks to sing on that. But while we're talking about music and the importance of music and things that are exultant, here is we're going to end the show because we've been talking about.
Wait. Since we're going to go into that, I have one video that I've been.
Oh yeah, do this.
I've been aggravating the life out of poor Tom about this video that I wanted to show, and so let me make sure I get it ready. Put this in here. There we go.
Oh,
this video. I was commenting on something else, and they were talking about how people people discover things after the fact and wish they had done something different. And this is my new favorite song.
And then I get a little excited that you're gonna find out. Fuck around. Every now and then I get a little frustrated that you didn't listen to us at all. Fuck around. Gonna get cut off from my friends and family, and your coworkers will think you're dead. Fuck around. It's hard to feel bad when you voted for the rights of millions of people to win. Fuck around, find out. It's really fun to watch you fall apart. Fuck around, find out. We were saying this shit from the start. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out.
So the camera angles. Fuck around.
Yeah, so I will give a lot of credit to the tenor because I don't know if the alto was trying to channel her inner Bonnie Tyler with the scratchy, somewhat awkwardly offered vocals, but he was kind of killing it with the high notes and everything. I was like, and he was so passionate about it. There was really some Bernard Tyler coursing through his veins. I would say. He was bringing the funk. And yes, I have a place in my heart for song satirists. So fuck around, find out that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I agree with that.
But now we move into some serious discussion, some serious but good news discussion around music, theater, art, etc.
Music make me lose control. And listen, call me incredulous. I was seeing how things were going with the Critics' Choice Awards and the Golden Globes, although this movie did win 2 Globes. But a lot has been made of Timothée Chalamet and
then whatever movie he was in that I never saw.
It's a ping pong movie.
It really is about ping pong?
Yeah, he's a ping pong player.
Okay.
Marty Supreme. But Sinners has the most Oscar nominations in historicalness.
I'm so proud.
And a lot more than the 0 nominations that Melania's documentary is going to get. We're gonna dig on Melania. Actually, we'll do it right now because I want to spend the end of the show talking about Sinners. Y'all, in one of the biggest pieces of grift, of the griftiest grift, is the fact that Jeff Bezos, who Mackenzie Scott is a lovely woman, and the person he has married has Mar-a-Lago face, and it's absolutely crazy. I don't know how you go from Mackenzie Scott to Lauren Velez with that horrible plastic surgery, but nonetheless, they paid Melania Trump $40 million for the rights to distribute this movie. And some people are saying, how can you spend $40 million making a documentary? The short answer is you don't.
Right.
Just so you know, acquiring the rights to something is different from what it costs. What it costs in some instances may be what is paid. For a lot of documentaries, perhaps that may be true. Documentaries that cost $100,000, $200,000, $2 million. Somebody may say, I'll make you whole and you get this percentage for the rights. I'll pay you I'll cover all of your costs and give you a piece. And that's how you're going to make money, because I'm going to make money on sending this out into millions or thousands of movie theaters. Well, $40 million just for the rights. That's her contractual post-nup adjustment.
Bruh. Yes. That's what I was thinking. That's her go bag right there.
That's a go bag, because guess what? She ain't living in the White House. And the only reason she's at Mar-a-Lago is that she's not in New York, because she's being sued in New York, and they're trying to make it a federal case because they quote unquote live in two different states, although I'm not even totally buying that. And get this, she's not living in the same wing as Trump, even at Mar-a-Lago. She's living in the tower. At the close of the clip, if you've seen the trailer, I couldn't believe they were releasing in theaters. I knew it was going to be streamed on Amazon. I didn't know it was going to be released in theaters. It is doing so poorly in pre-sales that some theaters are canceling it. They're like, ain't nobody bought any ticket.
I don't know that I've ever heard of a movie being canceled.
Oh, yeah, they'll take it out before it was like, we're just not going to agree to screen this. Nobody wants to see it. And it's looking to maybe make $2 million, maybe, on its opening weekend.
She learned well from her husband.
And if you look at the last sequence of the trailer, she says, "Congratulations, Mr. President." And he says, "Hey, are you watching it?" "No, but I'll watch it on the news." Melania.
Wow.
You're not with him. You're not with your husband on the night of the election. I watched Barack Obama win. And you know who was with him? His wife and them children.
And her mama.
And the mama, Ms. Robinson. They were all together. And I was with some other Black families. We had our kids with us.
We literally ran out in the street.
We were screaming and jumping up and down. And it was a lot. It was a lot. But that's what we did. And she...
Not Betamax.
Wow. Listen, I had a Betamax player. Betamax was a superior format.
So was HD DVD, but you know, we go the way
HD DVD wasn't better than Blu-ray. They got caught up on the wrong side of that. Plus, you had PlayStation.
Let's not get off track though.
We're not going to get off track. So, Melania is failing and Sinners is winning. 16 nominations. So, of course, you got Wunmi for Best Supporting.
Wunmi Mosaku. So wait, I want to go through this because this is an interesting question. Did Sinners get all the noms so they have deniability when it gets shut out of the big ones? That is possible. That they could say where everybody was nominated. Yeah.
Yes, certainly it got some nominations that they're absolutely not going to win. But I think with the 16 nominations, it feels like there's a slightly better chance for Best Director.
What are they up against for Best Picture though?
Well, there's 9 other films for Best Picture, including One Battle After Another. So I think for sure it's probably going to get Best Original Screenplay, because that's very few people would argue that it was the Best Original Screenplay is out of the box. And it's tough to say Wunmi's going against Teyana Taylor, and I kind of feel like,
well, I mean, that's a win. That's a win-win. So if either one of them wins, I'm gonna be
either one of them wins. It's just I would love to see Wunmi get it, just because, you know, Teyana is blowing up right now. She is so hot right now, and so it's going to be a big thing. But
Now, this
they're
is a
going
good
against
point.
each other.
Yeah.
I think Amy Madigan is squoze out, and I think the two women from the same movie are going to cancel each other out. So I think it comes down to Wunmi or Tiana. For makeup and hairstyling.
So let's talk about what they got nominated for. So the entire list of nominations. Let's see if I can find it really quickly.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So makeup and hairstyling. They're going up against Frankenstein, The Smashing Machine, which I guess is mostly for The Rock, and Ugly Stepsister. Nobody really saw Smashing Machine, and there's lots of vampire makeup, so that's a possibility.
Right. So but just the nominations, just in order. So Best Picture, Director, Best Casting, Cinematography, Costumes, and remember, this is the same lady that did Wakanda Forever and Black Panther.
Most Oscar nominations for a Black woman ever, by the way. Ruth Carter.
With 5. So film editing, makeup and hairstyling, music original score, music original song, production design, sound, visual effects, and writing for original screenplay. Now, those are all of the, let's call them, not to be disrespectful, but let's call them like upper B list. Except for like Best Picture and Director. But when we talk about individual people, so But as far as the stars of the movie, you got Michael B. Jordan for Best Actor, Delroy Lindo for Best Supporting, and Wunmi Mosaku for Best Supporting Actress. So those 3 in the actor categories, or where people are like, I wonder if they're going to get snubbed or shut out of those actor categories. But I do believe I think that Ryan's got a very good chance at Best Director, and I think it's got a pretty good chance for Best Picture as well. I think costume. Maybe music original score. I don't know about original song because I don't know if they're up against K-pop Demon Hunters again.
They are. They're up against.
I think K-pop Demon Hunters is going to take it, to be honest. Production design, visual effects. Just that one moment where Wunmi Mosaku's character is striking that match. They get an Oscar for that, as far as I'm concerned. Right there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the original songs. And by the way. There was no original song nomination for Wicked, which just leans into the fact that neither of those new songs were really the business.
No.
They just weren't. So you got Dear Me from Diane Warren, which I guess that's a documentary, gotta be. Then you got Golden, I Lied to You from Sinners, which is the big song with all of the intergenerational stuff.
Right.
Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi, really, and then Train Dreams from Train Dreams. The only songs of these that I have heard are Golden and I Lied to You. So I guess it kind of depends. If Göransson already won Best Score at the Golden Globes, so score.
I think he's going to get that again.
I think he will probably get that again.
But now
music is so important in that movie in a way that it is perhaps not in some other things.
Right.
But I don't know. I kind of feel like because Caton was squeezed out because of Michael B. Jordan, it would be nice to get him an award. And so, maybe I gotta say, you got 2 supporting actors from One Battle for Another, which could counterbalance one another and give Delroy Lindo a shot.
I'm just glad that we were worried after what happened at the Golden Globes and everything. We were worried that a lot of people might treat Sinners the way they treated Straight Outta Compton. It's like, oh, I didn't watch it. I wasn't interested in a horror movie or something like that. But I'm glad to see that so many people watched that it got nominated. That is being a serious contender. We just don't know. We may be surprised. Now, that being said, I was just on another StreamYard podcast a couple nights ago saying, why do we continue to look for validation from white systems?
No, absolutely. I mean, the NAACP Image Awards, I mean, it's probably going to be like a sweep. Maybe Tayana might boot somebody off or something like that. Right. I mean, Sinners obviously is the most acclaimed. And, it's interesting. There are movies that just hit different for Black consumers. And very few people didn't like Sinners. But the people who I hear say, oh, it's so overrated, dude, it's so overrated, they ain't Black. Black people love this movie.
I have seen one or two Black people say that they didn't like Sinners, but they are also people that Harriet Tubman would have shot.
I don't count them.
Yeah. They are.
If they were dancing on the rocky road
number.
to Dublin, then that's okay.
Yeah, they are technically in the number, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Chan. I really do think. I think the best big prize bet is probably Coogler for director, because there are 9 other films for Best Picture, and that's always the tricky thing, because there's so much competition. And One Battle After Another is an amazing movie. It's an amazing movie, and you've got I think F1 is a fluke. I mean, that's
F1 is a fluke.
That being it.
Yeah. Please do not name your children Smoke and Stack.
Please.
Their names were actually what? Elijah and Ezekiel?
I think so, yeah.
Don't name your kids Smoke.
So I haven't seen a lot of these movies, but
that happens a lot. Remember when The Shape of Water won? I went and watched it after that. And I was like, this is like arts and crafts splash. Like the whole thing was the same. You meet some mermaid person, fall in love with them, they kiss you, and you get gills. Like, that is splash.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Except make it World War II, right?
But I will say, One Battle After Another is a damn good movie, and both of them are brilliant movies in their own right for different reasons. So but I think between directing, Sinners is certainly the highest grossing of the directing prizes. A lot of much smaller movies, even though One Battle After Another is a big movie, and a lot of it got a lot of critical acclaim very early. It didn't make as much money. So
I want to touch on this comment. You know, their awards translate to money, and it's not about needing their approval. I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't always translate to money. There's actually, the concept of the Oscars curse, where you win an Oscar and then you can't get a job, or the next movie you do is a huge flop. Very few, unless you're like a De Niro or even a Leo DiCaprio or something like that, winning Oscars doesn't necessarily guarantee you more work in Hollywood, especially if you're Black. The next thing that Halle Berry did after her Oscar win was Catwoman. It was right. And from a financial standpoint, Ryan Coogler done made his money. He made a massive deal for this movie. And even if it's not, even if it doesn't win Best Picture, although knock wood that it does, it has already done everything it needed to do. And I love that people are trying to get him to do a sequel. He was like, I've said no. And we will not be doing that.
Here's the ray of hope I have for Sinners. It's been re-released 2 times now.
Yeah.
People are still feeling this movie.
Yeah.
So that
if they release it like Rocky Horror Picture Show every year at Halloween, I would go every year.
I absolutely would. So I think, in the way that Black Panther had Black people going in African outfits and dresses as Dora Milaje and all of that stuff to theaters and going over and over and over and over and over again, Sinners is kind of in that space. And I do think that, not that Coogler has already been verified and bona fide. He's good. Everybody wants to work with him. He did not suffer the fall off that Jordan Peele did. So he's good right now. He's arguably.
Jordan Peele kind of fell into that M. Night Shyamalan thing, where your opus was your masterpiece. Like your first thing out was the best. And I will say, I've liked every movie he's put out.
Correct.
Including the one about football that I saw in the movie theater. It was weird.
He produced that. Yeah, him.
Yeah, him. Him was good. If you didn't see it, you should check it out. It was good.
So, and I agree. I think in retrospect, Us and Nope both have their merits, especially Nope. I think Keke Palmer is an amazing talent.
She's an amazing person. Yeah.
She's absolutely amazing. And even Daniel Kaluuya, who, of course, he's had a strong run now. Let's not be confused. To go from Black Panther and Judas and the
Black Messiah.
Black Messiah, and he also did that gangster movie with Paperboy. I think he was in Widows. So anyway, he's had a nice little career. He's building himself. He's doing his thing.
That's where that meme comes from, when he's looking at somebody like this. Yeah.
Right. And so, listen, I would say the best I don't know about Best Picture, but having not seen the Best Picture things and having Chloe Zhao in there, and Chloe Zhao was one before for other movies that barely anybody saw. Sometimes, but Peter Jackson, I don't know how many awards. Peter Jackson, I think, had 11 noms for the Lord of the Rings stuff, and he got a lot of technical stuff. And so I could see Coogler. First of all, it would be a first win. It would be a huge win. It would be an impactful and important win for this young Black director, and delivering on the promise of John Singleton, whatever. And also, to Chan's point, how do you create a movie that earns 16 nominations and you don't credit the director with making the Best Picture of the year?
Right. You got Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best everything else, but then it's not the Best Director. He was in charge of all of that. Yeah.
And the cinematography and he wrote the original screenplay. So it's
this is his movie.
I think screenplay is likely. Original screenplay is likely. And I think director is likely. I don't know if I think there's anybody else. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the DGA comes out with in terms of their award for director. But I think if One Battle After Another, Sean Penn was great in that movie. But again, you got two actors from the same movie. That's always tricky. And adapted screenplay, I think adapted screenplay is available for One Battle After Another. And I'd be happy to see that happen if that turned out.
Yeah, but I mean, just from a statistical standpoint, I think costumes are going to get another nod. Maybe not, because sometimes people don't appreciate the subtleties of costume and the fact that all of her stuff was perfect for the period, and the way she used color to add and enhance the characters. I don't know if they're going to. I mean, I catch all that. I don't know if they will, because sometimes it'll be going over their head because they're not Black. But we'll see what happens. But I think they got a good chance of winning some of those technical awards, as well as I don't know about Wunmi, but I feel like Delroy has a chance at Best.
I think he does. I mean, again, it's going to come down to Teyana or Wunmi, I think, and Tiana probably has.
Probably edge her out. Yeah,
she probably has the thing. I will say, for costume design, it's Avatar, Fire, and Ash, and most of those costumes are digital. So I don't know how that's going to go. Interesting that Wicked for Good got shut out. Not surprising, but it happened. And then for as far as costume design, you got Frankenstein, which is probably a much smaller group of costumes. You got Hamnet, which I feel is probably a smaller group of costumes. Marty Supreme is a relatively contemporary movie, and so I don't know how much effort goes into it, whereas Sinners had to cast hundreds of people in period accurate costumes.
Period accurate. Not to mention, in that one scene with the ancestors, not only did she get all our African ancestors right, she got Chinese ancestors right too.
Correct.
And the look for the.
I'm not sure what you're trying to add.
I'm sorry, my phone thought I was talking to him. But yeah, not to mention the Choctaw Indians. Everything was, like you said, period accurate, down to the threads. So.
And that's tricky. So I think it's. I'll be watching. I'll say this. I used to watch the Oscars all the time.
I will not be watching because I'm old and I tend to go to bed, but I will be listening about it the next morning.
Yeah, I will definitely be watching it this time.
But I do think, regardless of whether the Oscars are still focused on like the white American gaze or what have you, it is still really a wonder and a feat for this movie that was independently created to be up for 16 nominations And, Ryan Coogler has once again done an amazing thing. And I think this comment about him being on the Spielberg Cameron trajectory, I agree. I think as long as, and then again, we talk about like being true to yourself. Ryan is been who Ryan has been from day one. And I think if he continues on this path, he is going to continue to be one of the greats. I don't think that he's on his path to be, he is.
One of the greats already. Absolutely.
Right. And I think he will continue to build his own legend. And I love that for him.
So here's a little, if you want to go to Kalshi and upgrade your bets, La La Land had 14 nominations and they got 6 wins.
Okay.
So Emma Stone for Best Actress, Best Director, again, Damien Chazelle. If you got 14 nominations, you kind of got to give it to the director. They got for cinematography, production design, original score, and original song. So that feels like a fair compromise. You give the director a win. Mm-hmm. You give one of the actors, and so the kind of obvious actor would be Michael B. Jordan because he was playing 2 roles. But then there was the special effects of having those 2 characters who were on screen almost all the time together. Mm-hmm. The technical feat of assembling their performances, and then of course Delroy Lindo, was also great. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm somewhat encouraged, if it had been 14 nominations and no wins or something like that, that would have been really sketchy and kind of crazy. But
and then too, that year with La La Land was when Moonlight came out of nowhere. And actually almost didn't get the award because somebody just assumed it was La La Land and said that. And like, no, actually bring that back. It's actually Moonlight won Best Picture. Mm-hmm.
Right. That was crazy. Mm-hmm. That was crazy. And listen, Titanic won 11 Academy Awards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Best Picture, Best Director, Best Art Direction, Cinematography, Visual Effects, Film Editing, Costume Design, Best Sound Editing, Best Original Dramatic Score, and Best Original Song. So no acting trophies. But
that was right. It was an epic movie, but no acting trophies. No.
Right. Yeah. So, it's a pretty good. I feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and so we're going to wish them the best in March when the Oscars comes on. We will see how everything goes. Michael B. Jordan, call me. And we'll move on. So that actually brings us to the end of our show today.
It does bring us to the end of the show. One last little thing. Both Wunmi and Haley are pregnant. And so at the Golden Globes, they were both pregnant. And Michael B. Jordan was also there, of course, because he was up for Best Actor. And it's like,
how real was this movie, bruh?
Both Smoke's woman is pregnant and Stack's woman is pregnant.
They having twins.
It'd be hilarious if one was named Ezekiel.
The other was named Elijah. They should totally do that.
They should totally do that. That would be hilarious. So this is a good way to bring a little bit of brightness out of a week of, we were tiptoeing to the destruction of NATO, folks. That's not even hyperbole. We were literely tiptoeing to the destruction.
And once again,
I'm glad we're not there. We've walked away from that cliff.
I feel like we've shown, we being, the Democrats, just to keep it simple, we have been talking about how dangerous this man is and his actions forever, and we've been called alarmists. But everything that we've said would come to pass has come to pass, and I think they finally realized, whoa, hey, he is about to get us ostracized from the world. You can't be a superpower when nobody talks to you,
and you can't go on vacation in France if nobody likes you.
No,
it's a good time to be Black with a passport.
Actually, I was talking about that with my friends earlier because we're going to Korea in May, and one of my friends wanted to go to the DMZ because we saw it on a show. But anyway, I was like, okay, so you do understand the DMZ stands for Demilitarized Zone, and that is like the friction point between North and South Korea. And at this geopolitical time, I don't know if we want to do that. And so we got into just a general discussion of, how people are going to treat us and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? For the first time in the history, in our lifetime, this might be the only time where it's really to your benefit to be Black if you want to travel internationally, because even though America is, persona non grata everywhere, they know we didn't do this.
Right.
Right. Especially Black women. The 92%, I believe, it's got the best chance of being treated well outside the United States. They know this wasn't our fault.
Clip
on
that.
site. Mm-hmm.
So with that, I will say I'm looking forward to talking to you all next week. We are at the end of the 365 days of Trump, and y'all, no more paper straws. So bully for that. And with that, I will say I am Tom Cunningham.
And I am not.
And this is Steel Sharpens Steel. Goodbye, everybody.